Beautiful rising, blessed rising, blessed rising, blessed rising. I hope you're having a beautiful start to your day. Hatep and Ma'at, I'm offering you truth. So, welcome to our daily meditation for Black August. We are going to be sharing our daily meditations more, so I'm going to begin doing more introductions to the Black August meditations for the new people who are arriving. Welcome to Tehuti Ma'at. This is a sacred space for you to come for this daily meditation that is in honor of Black August, being a annual commemoration of the Black Liberation Movement, specifically emphasizing and honoring the ancestors and the political prisoners and the freedom fighters who have sacrificed so much and have moved and progressed our people forward through many sacrifices and through the shedding of their blood. In many cases, their lives were on the line, and for many, they are still locked up in the prison system today. So, the best thing that we can do to honor their legacy, in my opinion, and why I'm here, and I felt called to do this daily meditation every day for August and to bring our cooperative space as a channel for us all to connect and unite, is because our political prisoners have made that sacrifice, and many of us are not really honoring the legacy that we're standing on, right? And everything that has happened to allow us to be here. There's so many significant things happening right now, and August is such a sacred month. Yesterday we had the 8-8 synchronicity, and I shared a lot about the origin of the so-called Lionsgate portal and the connection to Kemetic science, because that is actually where it aligns to. And Sekhmet is the feline or lioness principle that our ancestors honored and was invoked during this time of year. And it being the hottest time of the year in most parts of the planet, or maybe not most parts of the planet, but significantly so in the equator and the northern hemisphere. It is the summer. So that being said, there's so many astrological alignments. I did encourage people to go and watch the Lionsgate video that I had streamed 3 years ago that talked a little bit more in depth about it. But without further ado, I am here to guide us in our daily meditation. So wherever you are in your space, I hope that you have made the space. If you haven't, just make the space to be comfortable in how you're going to be for the meditation. If you're going to be on your mat, if you're going to be laying, whatever feels comfortable for you. However, for this beginning portion, just to express what I'm going to be guiding us through to get your consent and your participation, remember, everything is by invitation. So the first wave of our meditation is going to be some breath play, where we are going to be breathing and alternating between the left and the right nostril for our inhales and exhales. This alternating nostril breathing is very helpful in balancing the nervous system. So we balance the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. It's also balancing the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. So when we have a lot of energy that's stimulated in the mental space, this is a really great practice to do. So our intention with that is to calm the nervous system. It's going to stabilize the heart rate and release stress and allow us to like fully arrive into and land into the theme and the energy that I feel called um, to share today, to invoke, to evoke, and teach about, so that we can honor a very significant principle that is very prominent right now in the world, and that is happy. So you're going to learn about happy, and then I'm going to move to the drum, and the drum is going to guide us into really just receiving and being present with whatever that inner spirit of happy within us wants to uplift. And I, as always, remind you to stay hydrated. So if you do not have water, get water. If you're here live, welcome. Please tap in the chat and you can let us know how you're feeling. You can check in throughout the meditation. You can share anything that you need. I encouraged in the last session to communicate, open your throat and share, because that's the benefit, and you can speak up to have your needs met, right? That is helpful for me. So when you're here live, I can feel your energy more clearly. And I was sharing, even, in the realm of eternity, I can feel the energy that's present, but I really feel to invite and to encourage us to be present and fill the space with your presence and allow it to be curated and meet your needs. So I'm just going to pour some water here. And I invite us to just begin to settle into the space that we're in and just taking deeper notice of our breath without changing anything, just observing where you are in your breath. Observing and relaxing. Maybe just grounding yourself in this moment, because we're going to begin to release anything that may be pulling our energy in different directions so that we could be in the eternal power of the present moment. So anything that's behind us, that we left behind, that we didn't get to do, or that came up overnight, anything that we have next, anything we may be feeling worried or anxious about that's pulling us into the future, just allowing ourselves to release and remember that this practice is going to strengthen us to move forward, more rooted, more grounded, and more whole. Okay? So thank you for being here. If you have any incense or anything to honor your sacred space, to clear the energy, I always want to encourage that. Of course, you don't need anything but your intention and your clarity. So if it's just clearing out and releasing that and envisioning anything that is not yours, any dense frequencies, anything that may be distracting your energy, just imagine it just drifting out of your window, out of your door. Okay. So as you continue to take notice of where you are in your breath, we're going to begin to guide the breath a little bit here, just to prepare ourselves for the session today and intentionally open the throat and release. So one of the things that we're learning in the practice of meditation and deepening meditation, no matter how experienced we are in meditating, is it is a practice of humility, of presence, of receptivity, of trust. So it strengthens our ability to assess and be aware of what's happening in our energy body, in our psyche. So the first practice that we're going to do to prepare for our alternating breathing is going to be to inhale in through the nostrils, and when we exhale, we're going to act like we have like a straw that's just blowing out. We're going to hiss, slowly releasing the breath. And I'm going to guide us again here because I felt really strongly the other day to demonstrate the importance of proper breathing, which is very simple, but sometimes we can just breathe and not really be aware. So I was guiding us to hold one hand on the belly at the core or by the womb, maybe right under the belly button, so that we can deepen the breath and bring it into this space. And then the other hand here on the heart, holding the chest. And the intention here is to allow this to support you, even if you're laying down. Sometimes it's easier when laying down. This is a great practice to do while you're still in bed. Is just practice bringing the breath and expanding the belly. So when I say, imagine like you have a balloon that's in your belly. So when you're inhaling, you're expanding and it's coming out. And when you're exhaling, it's contracting back in. Inhaling, your belly is coming out. Exhaling, the belly's contracting in, back, and connecting with the spine, with your jed, your backbone. So that's something I invite you to do if you feel like it's helpful for you. But essentially, it is just to support us as we're releasing the breath out. Make sure your belly button, your belly is contracting in, like you're releasing all of that air in that imaginary balloon that's in your belly. So inhaling in, making sure that the chest and the heart is relaxed and it's not just expanding here because the breath will stay shallow. We're going to deepen the breath. So inhaling and bringing it in there. Filling that belly. And exhale, let's begin with a hiss. Inhaling in. Expanding the belly, letting that intention that you're calling in for the day fill your belly and expand. Holding it, letting it circulate. Maybe sipping a little bit more and expanding a little more here. Letting it circulate through the body and then releasing. Contracting that belly in. Inhaling in to the belly and exhaling out. Inhaling in. As you're exhaling out with your hiss, becoming present with the slow down of the release is allowing you to clearly see what is coming out. What are you making space? How are you making space? What is coming out? And as you inhale, doing this at your own pace and your own rhythm, calling in what you desire to fill that space, calling in that passion, calling in all of the themes and the energies that we've been honoring and uplifting in this season, this solar energy, this creative power to create whatever you envision. And as you hiss on your release, the intention is to slow down the release and be present with what comes up to your psyche, what comes to your heart and your mind as you are releasing. When you're slowing the release, keep doing this at your own pace and follow along. My guidance is simply that we honor the release. We are in these eclipse energies. There's a lot of new energy that is going to come forward, but it is contingent upon the space that we make. So as we release with gratitude. When you're releasing the outworn, the old parts of yourself that you have to forgive yourself for, honoring and trusting that they were all there for protection, that you were doing the best that you could, that those were lessons that you needed to learn. There's a grace as you slow down the release. We're going to just take 3 more releasing breaths wherever you are in your process right now. One more. Making some more space, getting it all in there. And one more hiss. And this next breath, inhaling in, gonna drop the jaw and just let it all out. Audibly releasing, opening the throat. Give yourself one more. Let out all that stagnant energy, anything that's sitting at the bottom of the lungs. Huff it out. Huff it out. Making space. Making space for the intention that you're calling in. So inhaling that in and just bringing yourself into this moment. We're giving gratitude, giving thanks and praises to the divine spirit that is indwelling within us. This mother, father, creative spirit that is internal for the most high and all of the divine principles of nature that we are connected to. We give thanks for this opportunity that we have to be here in the flesh, to grow, to cultivate our spirits in this practice. We affirm our intention for today to connect deeply with ourselves, to embody our sovereignty, to take full possession of our bodies, to release what no longer serves us, and to call in what is our inheritance. Ashe. So, welcome, Brother Wale. Brother Wale says, every day is a miracle, and every moment of life is a blessing. Ashe. Ashe. Give thanks. Okay, so I'm going to invite us to go into our alternating nostril breaths that I described before. Let me bring the camera a little closer because I want to demonstrate to you. What is going to be the simplest thing to do is simply remember we are going to alternate. So I'm going to guide us where we're going to begin with closing the right nostril and inhaling in through the left. And we switch and exhale out the right. We hold and inhale on the right and exhale on the left. That's the simple thing. So if that's what you can follow along with, just follow along with that. Use whatever fingers feel comfortable. I'm going to give us the option of what's easy is using the thumb, inhaling in, and then switching to the index finger and releasing out. Okay, so thumb and index finger is easy. Now, final option for anyone who feels like they want to do this and feel more advanced, because we're going to connect to our first eye here. You're going to take your middle finger and have it centered at your first eye, which I've been sharing. It's very, to me, significant that this part of the brain, when we focus our attention and we direct our inner vision, even if our eyes are closed, outwards in between our brows, we are allowing our consciousness to relax and allow us to receive and come into a more receptive meditative state, because there are no neurons in that prefrontal cortex, right? So that's just something simple to recognize about the importance of that gaze up and out through your first eye or your third eye throughout meditation. It really supports. So you can take the middle finger here, and you can use the index here, and then the ring finger on the opposite side, and alternate in that way. Okay? Now remember, simple enough, just use your thumb and your index finger, and if you need it simpler than that, you're going to just do whatever feels comfortable for you and alternate between nostrils. Okay? So come into whatever posture feels best for you. I want you to relax your shoulders, remember your posture, stacking up one vertebrae at a time, right? Allowing wherever you're seated for yourself to feel rooted in, maybe balancing from the left to the right side. Let's do that a little bit. If your feet are on the ground, balancing your weight from your left and your right side. Remembering that we're on a planet, in an experience, in a universe that is polarity based with complementary energy forces, right? That are active and receptive. So this is the balance of the left and the right side. And then just come into balance in the center when you're ready with your inhale and both nostrils right now still. We're just preparing ourselves. With your inhale, letting your roots deepen wherever the gravity is pulling you into the land beneath your feet. Remembering that your body is earth, your body is matter. Your body is rooted in the land. Relaxing your shoulders where we tend to hold a lot of stress. Keeping your head nice and tall, but your chin slightly tucked, right? but really lifting here, like you have that beautiful golden thread that's pulling you up from your sit bone and all the way up your crown, all the way up to Mama Newt. And we're going to begin by holding the right nostril down and inhaling through the left nostril. Switch, hold, and release out of the right nostril. Hold and switch. Oh, sorry. Inhale through the right nostril. Hold and switch and release out of the left nostril. We give ourselves a moment to catch this rhythm. Inhaling through the left. Hold and switch. You're exhaling out of the right. Inhaling in the right. Hold and switch. Exhaling out of the left. Inhaling in the left. Hold and switch. Exhaling out of the right. Inhaling in the right. Remember, bringing that breath into the belly. Hold and switch. Exhaling out of the left. Contracting that belly in. Inhaling in. Expanding the belly in the right and the left. Hold and switch. Exhaling out of the right. Inhaling in the right. Hold and switch. Exhaling out of the left. Inhaling in the left. Feeling that belly hold and switch. Exhaling out of the right. Contracting that belly in. Inhaling on the right. Hold and switch. Exhaling on the left. Inhaling on the left. Hold and switch. Exhaling on the right. Inhaling on the right. Hold and switch. Exhaling on the left. I'm going to give ourselves 2 more here. Inhaling on the left. Hold and switch. Exhaling on the right. You don't have to turn when you do this practice. I'm just demonstrating. So inhaling on the right. Hold and switch. You're exhaling on the left. Inhaling on the left. Final round. Hold and switch. You are exhaling on the right. This is the last inhale on the right. Hold and switch. Exhaling on the left. And release. Inhaling on both sides here. And just coming back into your natural breath. Being conscious of your posture. Relaxing the shoulders. Lifting the spine. Slightly tucking the chin, but relaxing the shoulders back and keeping the neck nice and lifted, nice and tall. Taking notice of where your breath is now. Just breathing and taking notice from any shift from beginning our practice today. Taking notice of the way that our nervous system has shifted. Honoring the balance or taking notice of any imbalance that you may have noticed between your left and your right side as you were breathing and alternating. Using that as data. So as you continue to breathe, just remember that that is data. So we tend to associate spiritually, the common ground is to associate the left side of the body to the feminine. So the left side of our body is connected to the right hemisphere of the brain. And then the right side of the body is connected with our masculine energy. And so that's our active energy, and that's connected to the left hemisphere of the brain. So if you do notice any difference, maybe one side felt more stuffy or anything like that, just take notice of where it was, because if it's on the left side, it is likely that your body is communicating to you the need for more receptivity. And if it's on the right side, it is likely connected to the need for more active energy, right? It could also be directing you to turn to the left side, could be inviting you to turn to your maternal line and your maternal ancestors from your mother's lineage. And the right side could be inviting you to connect to your paternal line and your father's lineage. So just some things to take notice and to continue to bring into your spiritual awareness and practice as you deepen into connection. Meditation for us is to connect. It's a holistic practice to connect the mind, the body, the spirit, to honor its wholeness, its oneness. Recognizing that the physical experience is a reflection of the spiritual experience. It's a beautiful quote from Tehuti that is, as above, so below. Right? What's happening inside is happening outside. The universal law of correspondence, which for us ancestrally was really about honoring the fact that what's happening in the cosmos and the heavens above us is also impacting what is happening on the earth and in our lives below. So on that note, I'm going to transition us into the next phase of our meditation, which is with the drum. I'm hoping you could hear the drum. If you're here with us live, please let me know. Let me know if you can hear the drum. I listened back to the recording from yesterday, and I recognize like the sound bowls, which typically, the frequency from the sound bowls doesn't all transmit. I'm trusting the intention still does, but I want to make sure that you can hear the drum. Either way, I'll still trust. Okay, give thanks, Jedi love, for confirming that, and welcome. Thank you for being here with us. Okay, so in the spirit of as above, so below, we've been talking about the significance of this sacred moment, which is why it's so important for us to recognize when we talk about Black August and all the major events and happenings that happen, whether they're rebellion and movement or horrible things like Emmett Till, his murder, they were still significant. There's that neutrality in the sense of when we look at things balanced and we don't see the night and the day as conflicting in the sense of like judgment, like one is good and one is bad. We kind of just look at its neutral impact. And the neutral impact is that these are things that were movement. They awakened the spirit of the people. They revealed many things. There were also many things that we celebrate. And, you know, as tragic as Emmett Till's murder and torture was, it was also a significant expression of what we were really dealing with that really allowed us to move into, and it awakened a lot of it activated a lot of warriors, a lot of, it's not activists, but I say freedom fighters, right? Right now, we've kind of like watered down and diluted the revolutionary spirit into activism that is usually misguided, misinformed. But when we talk about liberators and freedom fighters, and those of us who are spiritual warriors who are here with that essence, with that spirit, granted, everyone doesn't have it, but it's awakened usually by these traumatic events and things that have happened. So when we think about like why August, you know, why is this such a significant moment? The things that I shared about the essence of Hapi that is present. Hapi is the force and the principle that many people are familiar with, an interpretation of it that comes through the Greek interpretation, which is Aquarius, which is known as the water bearer, the one that brings water, right? In ancient Kemet, when we take a look at it from the ancient African lens and we look at it as Hapi, we saw the water bearer because everything in the tradition, and the thing about culture is connected to the ecology, right? The environment around you. And in ancient Kemet, as we rose, right, of millennia of Africans traversing the earth, right? And we had this golden age of a culmination because of the Hapi. The Hapi is the physical river of the Nile, the longest river on our planet. And it was seen as the water bearer. Anywhere where you see water, you see life. We need water for life. We're mostly water. So when we think about the water bearer, we think about Hapi, or we talk about Aquarius or the Aquarian age, we think about the revolutionary spirit, the humanitarian spirit. We think about the unique individual essence of us. And it's really about us recognizing that it's not in conflict, but the essence of the force in nature is about water, right? And bringing that water, right? The revolutionary spirit is bringing a nourishment, it's bringing a vitality and activation, a life force, a stream, a current, right? So that's what Hapi represents. And this principle gets very deep. But for us today, as I bring us into the drum, what I want to connect us to is the fact that this energy, this force is one to be embodied. I'm not telling you to go light a candle to Hapi, pray to Hapi like it's some outside external divinity. Some people do things like that. It's no shade, but in essence, this is about us honoring like what is the true path of the Kemetic tradition is embodiment. It is to be, to actually be in our divinity, to embody the divinity, to actually connect with the principles. So when we talk about Sekhmet and we're talking about the fire, connect with the fire, you know, like fire gaze, build a fire, right? There's many ways, or stimulate the energy through your creativity. There's ways to activate that energy. It's nothing external. It's nothing outside of you. It doesn't have to be so mystical. Yes, there's an essence, there's a grandeur. It is a vast energy when we think about creativity and passion and fire. When we think about water, the river, the ocean, right? We think about these bodies. We think about our physical body. It is a beautiful, yes, mystical thing, but it's something that we connect through our breath. We're connecting with Shu, right? Not as a god, but as a principle, as a force of nature, as a power, as a natural technology. So when I share about Hapi, yes, it is the physical river Nile, but that was the essence of the interpretation through the ecology of the cultural orientation of the Kushite Empire, the the Nile Valley Empire, right? For us right now, we connect with the waters in the ways that we can connect with the water in our environment. So for me today, I want to invoke and call in the essence of Hapi that is the rain, right? Because it rains everywhere and we need rain. And when we don't have rain, we have drought. And it's very important for me coming to you here from Fogo, from Cabo Verde, where it's very dry. And our people have withstood famine because of the lack of water, drought. Like my grandmother, it's like that's something that has been in my maternal line that I've been healing through, is that remembering of true hunger, like what it is to actually exist and feel hunger, to starve and to watch people dying around you because of a lack of water. Sometimes when you don't have something is actually what it takes to value it. So I bring that in the essence of, if we don't have Hapi, if we don't have the one that brings the water, the revolutionary, because sometimes we don't value that spirit. We don't value our freedom fighters, our political prisoners, and the people who have put in this work. Or even right now, sometimes it's easy for us who are revolutionaries to feel undervalued, but we have to meet that need within ourselves and value our revolutionary spirit and the fact that we bring forward this water. So we're connecting with Hapi the same way we connect with the rain. I want you to see yourself like that individual, unique drop of water in the rain that's also part of the collective spectrum of all of the waters that continue to cycle and circulate throughout the planet, throughout our bodies, right? Coming back to that original water, Mama Nut. Mama Nu, 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 Nu. Papa Geb, the earth, is bringing in these ancient vibrations and bringing us to Nu. Nu is the primordial water. Nut is the cosmic womb. Geb is the earth that erects vitality and vegetation. Hapi is the current that brings the water. So as we're moving to the rain season, calling in the waters, honoring the waters, connecting with your breath, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, ekil kinukre. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, ekil kinukre. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, ekil kinukre. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, ekil kinukre. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, ekil kinukre. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, ekil kinukre. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, ekil kinukre. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, ekil kinukre. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba, chobe, chuba, chobe. Chuba chobe is just saying rain come. This is in Criollo, in the language that we speak here in Cabo Verde. Chuba chobe is like rain, rain, rain. Come on, rain, 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 rain. Chuba chobe, chuba chobe, chuba chobe, chuba chobe. Rain, rain, rain. Ekil kinukre is that's what we want. Chuba chobe, chuba chobe. Rain, rain, rain. It's just asking for the rain, saying that we want the rain, calling in the rain. Because as we're sowing seeds in these like fertile soils and this energy that we're in, that we're talking about, and sometimes we're not even conscious of, right? We hear the Lion's Gate, there's all these new age interpretations and things. It's like coming back down to the bare bones, to the simplicity, to true comprehension, to true connection. Knowing is not enough anymore. We're in an era where we're being bombarded with information, and much of that is not even true. So we have to come down to the simplicity of the heart, the simplicity of our roots, and the simplicity of connection with what it is that we're actually saying. Because sometimes it can be all up here and it's all in the air, and we're not grounded in the true connection to the simple things. So sow the seeds, yes, but we need the rain. We need the rain. We call in the rain. Happy was so significant, and it is significant to us to this day, because the basis, the foundation of the quote unquote Western world and civilization that we're existing in is rooted in Kemetic culture, agriculture to be exact. And that inundation, that surplus, that farming society that was nature based that was able to observe nature because they were farming and existing in surplus, and were able to now stay still and not be hunters and gatherers and observe the stars and build monuments and the architecture and the science and the mathematics and all the beautiful things, the arts that we stand on today, are because of the inundation, the flooding, the annual flooding of Hapi that is honored in these so-called dog days, where the star Septet Sirius rises and the inundation comes, right? The dog star, or Canis Major, in our Kemetic tradition is Anpu. The essence of discernment is symbolized by the jackal, which is a canine, and seen as the partner of Ast, right? The sacred feminine essence within us, the light feminine energy within us. So I'm saying all of these things to connect us as we connect with our breath, as we connect with our inner waters, as we connect with the essence and the spirit of Black August. And our intention for being here and gathering here every day is to be in the spirit of truth, to be in the spirit of the warrior within us, to bring forward the water, the flooding, the current of revolution, to awaken that current of revolution within us, within our people, within our collective spirit, right? As the north node of the moon has entered into Hapi, as that microcosmic shift illustrates the macrocosmic shift of the precession of the equinoxes, which is major astronomical event from the 26,000 year calendar. So we're talking about observance, connection, reverence to nature that is cosmic, because that was the wisdom and the freedom that we had ancestrally, was to honor our cosmic legacy and our cosmic roots. So in order for us to express and to embody freedom, that is what we do, is we remember and we retrieve who we are beyond these bodies, through these bodies. It's not escaping it, it's connecting with it and recognizing, hey, this microcosmic expression here, as our sister Leonie said, this comrade you have right here is an expression of what is happening above. So if you want to connect and learn and be with and embody the stars and these frequencies and these beautiful energies that we consider to be these angelic forces and principles, or however you interpret it, is here. It begins here in your life and your choices and the things that you use to nourish your body, the way you connect, the way you treat others, the way you treat yourself. It begins all in here. So that's why we've been really connecting with the heart. So I want to thank you for your presence, for your trust in my guidance. I want to encourage you, if you are here with us live, to please share how you feel, how the meditations have been, what has been feeling good for you, what you would like more of, what you might feel you want less of, what you feel discomfort around. Sometimes it's harder for people to express that, but I do invite and welcome that as well. And shout out to Hood African, Peace Dada, Asante Sana for this. Ashe, give thanks for your presence, for being here with us, and for contributing to the space with your energy. And I'm trusting, it's so interesting because there's a biblical reference that says, wherever there's two or three gathered, in my name, I'm present. And I always think about like the power of us connecting, especially in threes, at the very least threes. But the more of us are present, the more of us gather with this intention, the more powerful it is, which is why I'm intentionally making sure to now go out and share it. So I do encourage you to share this stream. Please, please, please. And if you are here, even if you're watching the raw play, hit the like button. I know that supports the algorithm. Usually I don't really speak on that, but I think it is important to like the stream. And if you are here for the first time and you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. But also, even if you are subscribed, hit the notification bell so that you're notified when the streams are scheduled. I'm going to be doing a Kemetic Astral series as well. And we're going to be doing our Think series On the 12th of this month, we have Mama Regina Jennings, Dr. Regina Jennings, our mama, our elder, who is a Black Panther, OG Black Panther, who's going to come true, and she's going to share with us the origins of Black August, and we're going to really get in depth with the legacy and the significance of Black August, which I think is really important, specifically, even though this is like a Pan-African expression to me and the way that we hold it as true revolutionaries who hold like both, and there's an honor and a reverence for the movement that has taken place by Africans colonized in the divided states, and the movement work that has been done there that has laid the foundation for all people from all over the Black world to be in that place and in other places, the civil rights movement, the Black Power movement, and the continuation of what that looks like now. So Tehuti Ma'at is a revolutionary instrument that is here to build cooperative institutions so that we can actually build the systems and the revolutionary programs and all the things that we need, but also to be self-determined and to define and to create those things foundationally for ourselves from a self-determining place, from a place of sovereignty and from a place of power. So if that feels aligned with you and something that calls to you, we invite you to join us, to be part of this movement. If you are just here for the meditation and you love the meditation, you want to support us nonetheless, this is a donation-based offering. It is encouraged that you make a contribution, a monetary contribution. And in the description box, you have 2 links that you can use to make your monetary contribution. On the screen sliding below, it has our Cash App, which is $Tehuti Ma'at World, if you want to manually type that into your Cash App. And if you don't have Cash App, you can actually use the PayPal. Even if you don't have a PayPal account, you can use a debit or credit card to make a contribution using the Cash App. So in the spirit of Ma'at, as you're receiving, giving, and we also affirm, as I always say, that what you give and contribute is returned to you 100-fold, 1,000-fold, 1,000,000-fold, because in this moment right now, as we're transitioning, the economy itself is healing, and everywhere that we invest our energy and everything that we pour into, as we say, energy grows where energy flows. So being aware of the things that you're supporting with your money is your energy, the things that you're supporting with your attention, with your time, all of those things are significant and they are going to multiply. So are we going to be on the side of where we're going and putting the weight on the side of the scale that needs it to bring balance so we can have this beautiful sunrise, because it is the dawn of a new day? But as we move through the night, there's going to be so much collapse and so much decay around us. So this is why this movement, this awakening, and we're calling in and we're waking up the warriors with the drum, so that we can be ready and be prepared to guide and lead our people. Tehuti Ma'at is a leaderful movement. It is Ella Baker's vision of having a leaderful movement. So we're going to be uplifting the names of the different ancestors throughout the month. As we reach that new moon solar eclipse on the 12th, we're going to open up the rest of the programming and the educational piece through think and teaching about our revolutionary ideology of Tehuti Ma'at, which is not only an ideology for revolution, it's also a methodology and a strategy that will ultimately lead us to successfully continuing the revolutionary process, which is why we're honoring everything that came before us, the foundation that we stand on, that we grow on. So if you are interested and you know that you're a star in our constellation, as I say, then join the Tehuti Ma'at militia. We are calling in spiritual warriors. If you want to just come in, get your feet wet, join us at the kingdom rank, come into the kingdom and get access to the moonly reports that we give out. You'll get the calendar, the exclusive access to the members only offerings, and you'll be supporting our work and our mission. So you can learn more about that at tehutimaat.org. And I also want to share one of the things I shared, tehutimaat.org. I believe I also put that in the description box, so you can click the link to go into tehutimaat.org. Tehuti Ma'at has been functioning since 2014 their time, We say after we hit 2020, we entered into our time. So that's our medicine of navigating eternity. If you were to come in and be initiated as a builder within Tehuti Ma'at, which is the galaxy rank, and you are part of our JED and do our initiation process, navigating eternity, we go into that more in depth. But I am inviting you to just learn more about what we're doing, support the mission. We need the energy for sure. If you want to reach out and ask for more information, you can email us at grow@tehutimaat.org. And you can also text us. This number is text only, 646-883-MAAT. So please reach out if you have any questions about that. Another thing that I mentioned is that I am taking on 3 personal one-on-one clients from my Kepra coaching practice. So 2 people now left for me to bring into that space. So if you're feeling called and you really want to go into that transformational space and really have support and guidance in moving through that and coming into this world of ease and alignment and trust and having that full support, and really going into your becoming and really coming through for the next 90 days, starting right now during the eclipse season is the perfect time. And I invite you, if it is something that is calling you, that you feel interested in, that I'm going to take two more beautiful souls to join me. And you can actually email me directly about that if that's something you're interested in, and I can get back to you. So my personal email is asnafrika@gmail.com. And you can just put in your subject line Kepra, or some people might not even know how to spell Kepra, but you can just put coaching. You can put anything, whatever you know is going to make it clear that you're interested. You feel the call, you're answering the call, and you're ready for the call. You want more information, so that I can provide that for you. Okay, and as we continue on, I am going to begin sharing more and more about Tehuti Ma'at, because I do feel it's important to begin to share so people know the things that we're doing. You can follow us on Instagram. We have our Instagram, which is at Tehuti Ma'at, and you can see about the work, like visually, the work that we're doing specifically at Tehuti Ma'at Community Garden. And we also started a new garden base, which we actually haven't shared much about, but we started a new garden base in Boston, in the Roxbury area of Boston. And if you are in that neighborhood or in the surrounding area in Boston, and you want to be a part of the new garden base that is part of our Organic Food for the People initiative in Boston, then you can also connect with us about that. Email grow@tehutimaat.org about that. But like I said, if you follow us on our Instagram page, which is linked in the description, you can see more about our Organic Food for the People initiative, which is really significant, because when I say that we need to embody the energies and we're talking about revolutionary energy, I don't think that we can be serious about revolution if we're not talking about feeding our people, especially when one of the main assaults on us, when we think about this warfare on the physical front, is the food. What they're telling us is food that is actually poison. And even when I travel and I'm in the States, and it's like, you can try to buy the best quality thing you can, but the most important thing is you got to go to the farmer's market. You got to connect with the people actually growing your food. It's not, you can't, you go to Whole Foods, you're supporting Jeff Bezos. Like, there's an importance around the locality and the access to our foods, but also the quality and the connection and the communication and the support of the people growing our food. As I said, Kemetic science is rooted in agriculture. So the embodiment of connecting with this tradition is through agriculture. Literally, the people revere the most, interestingly enough, the Nesubiti, or what they call the pharaoh. And when you see the posture with the pharaoh holding the hek and the keka, they're literally farming tools. It is a disconnect that we've had around the reverence for farming, the connection to our food, and how that directly connects to our thriving in the world, right? So a lot of the reasons why we're struggling is because, one, we're poisoning ourselves with these chemicals, these artificial synthetic chemicals that they are telling us is food, or processed chemicals that they're saying is food. And I know it's not an easy transition to make, but it is one for us to be more aware of, and at the very least put our energy towards the solutions. And that is the heart of Tehuti Ma'at. So that's one of the programs. And then sharing some of the other programs that get to the core of the work that we do. You can visit sexualalchemy.com. You can watch the Sexual Alchemy playlist that's on our channel. And I'm also going to make a channel for all of the energy readings too. So you can watch the energy reading that I did for the moon cycle that we're about to complete, and kind of see how that energy has played out for you as we finally wane into a new moon cycle. And then you can stay tuned for the next reading. So my invitation for you is to get in tune with sexual alchemy, because we really speak about accessing Black power through sexual healing, and why that's so important for our people, especially because a lot of that thwarted and undermined warrior energy is being misguided through many energy leaks. And it starts at the root, which is our sexual energy. So the physical reality, our sexual reality, our food, all of these ways on the denser physical plane that we're being attacked are some ways that we can actively fight back. We can actively heal ourselves. And remember, for us, we define the forces of revolution as healing, liberation, restoration, elevation, and expansion. And we've added unity, strength, courage, prosperity, and joy. Okay, so that's what it means to be revolutionary. We need to live for our people. We need to live well, and we start within ourselves. Remember, the revolution begins in you. So I'll see you here tomorrow. Remember to share this with anyone you love that you know would enjoy and value this intention and this information and this moment every rising, to center and root to your own warrior and revolutionary spirit within you. Okay, so thank you. Power. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Ashe.